So, Thor Ragnarok was just released. The what was it? The 17th entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I gotta double check that. This time it is directed by Taika Waititi. Forgive me if I'm if I'm mispronouncing that. If I am, I do apologize. And it stars once again Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, and a bunch of it's a heavily star-studded cast. Jeff Goldblum is in it, which is a definite plus. And Kate Blanchett as the villain Hela. Okay, so is this worth the praise that it has been receiving? Does it earn that 93 or 94% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever the score is currently? Yes, and a bit of no. I wouldn't say this is the best Marvel movie because honestly, for me, that title has to go to either Spider-Man: Homecoming and Guardians of the Galaxy. That's just my personal 2 cents on which is the better Marvel movie. But I can safely say that Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie ever. The first film, directed by Kenneth Branagh, I liked it. It was very heartfelt, very, very Kenneth Branagh, very Shakespearean. And I thought it was a decent flick. Like, I could, if I happen to stumble upon it, I'll say, like, whether it's for a Marvel movie night or on ABC or on TV or whatever, or on Netflix, I wouldn't be mad if I managed to rewatch it. Thor: The Dark World, which is directed by Alan Taylor, it's visually stunning. I'll give it that. Most of these Marvel movies are visually stunning. That goes without saying. But Thor: The Dark World is definitely the weakest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I shit you not. I tried to actually rewatch that movie before going in to see Thor Ragnarok. I instantly got bored. It's one of the most boring, uneventful movies I've ever seen. It took itself way too seriously, which is kind of impossible when you're making a movie about a Norse god of thunder. There should be some more imaginative moments here. Well, then again, what else are you going to expect from the guy that eventually directed Terminator Genesis shit? So, does this, I'm really glad that we finally got a Thor movie that manages to address everything that has happened in the past, as well as change up the game. This isn't Thor on Earth anymore. Thor is jumping from place to place, from universe to not universe, from from specific plot point to specific plot point in a very interesting and well thought out manner. This is literally a universe trotting adventure for Thor. Unlike the first two, where it's just like from Earth to Asgard to this place to Asgard to back to Earth. The Earth aspect, surprisingly, they should have been interesting, but I just didn't find them interesting at all. But with the location, which I won't spoil, I suggest you go out and see where the hell Thor landed in the movie. It's quite of an interesting story regarding that, like where he has landed after getting his hammer destroyed by Hela. Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. Okay, it's in the friggin' trailer. The first teaser trailer, in fact, is Hela destroying his hammer. That's like the first sign that things are definitely changing for the better. I thought it was like, okay, so Thor's hammer is destroyed. Huh, this could be interesting. Like, I mean, it could lead to really interesting consequences, or they'll manage to find another version of the same hammer. That was something I was incredibly worried for. Thankfully, it it all stayed. Like did not give him a new a new hammer. You know what I mean? Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing a lot of names today. That's not my intention. I just want to give out my thoughts on this fucking movie. Okay. So the the biggest praise about this film is not just the visuals. Hulk, Thor, Loki, Valkyrie, Jeff Goldblum, Hela, everyone steals the show. Hela is probably up there next to Kingpin, Loki, and I think Zemo from Civil War. Has Marvel been getting better with their line of villains so far? Because we have 3 decent... Oh wait, there's also Kilgrave from Jessica Jones. We got 5 total decent villains so far. Because Kate Blanchett, even though certain scenes just feature her spouting a bunch of exposition regarding her backstory, which happens a lot in the film, she does a fantastic job. She was sexy, she was just downright vile. She's a vile character, and I love that. Everyone has their time to shine, which I'm grateful for. Because most times when it comes to these movies, there's always that one character that manages to outdo everybody else in terms of performance. Well, even though the other performers are doing well, it's just that one guy. You know, like say in The Dark Knight, we've got Heath Ledger, and The Avengers, we've got Robert Downey Jr. In Thor Ragnarok, everybody is actually giving their A game. I'm shocked. This is a first for me. The humor is well done. I thought it's definitely a funny movie. It's pretty much a space comedy at this point, on the same vein as Guardians of the Galaxy. But my issue with the humor is that although really well done, it felt kind of excessive. Like, oftentimes there will be like those really hit it right there moments, you know, where like it just felt right. Then all of a sudden there's a joke. I mean, I get that with Marvel, and that it's very lighthearted. They have to keep the humor up in order for the audience to stay in their seats, right? But too much of it kind of lowered the score for me a little bit. Look, I know what you're going to say about the humor in this film, and that, oh, Raj, what are you talking about? There has always been humor in these Marvel movies. You have a problem with it now? Are you turning into a DC EU fanboy or some shit? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that, look, I love humor. I love to laugh. I love comedy. But there needs to be a point where it doesn't falter the movie. It doesn't stop the movie's tracks. And yes, there were these hard-hitting moments, but they were completely overshadowed by the amount of humor the movie has. And there's so much of it. And I'm not saying that the humor was bad. There were good jokes in here. But I just felt like I was just overriddled, overstuffed with jokes. Takes like Spider-Man Homecoming. That had a great balance of both humor and drama. Yes, Peter Parker is a kid. The humor is expected, especially when the film is centering around a high school kid, right? But there were moments such as him losing his scholarship, or when Peter was trapped under that rubble. Hell, the situation when he finds out who his date's father is, that was a really intense moment. Which is why I believe Spider-Man: Homecoming is a much better solo film than Thor Ragnarok, personally. And I'm not saying that Ragnarok is a bad movie. No, Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie we had. By far. I'm not saying Thor Ragnarok sucks. It's a good movie. It's just that I was just so bogged down by so many jokes, really well done jokes, but too many jokes nevertheless. Which is why I'm gonna have to give this film a solid B+. There is good action, there is great humor, albeit too much. There are great performances. Everyone gave it their best. This was Chris Hemsworth's best portrayal of Thor in this film. Well, I did like him in the previous films. I personally believe he brought his A game in this supposed final installment. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more Thor movies after Infinity War. I'm pretty sure. Because due to the success of how this film has done in the box office, of course, there's gonna be a Thor sequel. There's gonna be more Thor movies, as long as they make it more like this, but keep the humor where it doesn't feel like it's the only thing in the movie. Because that's what I personally felt. This was an action. This was a science fiction action comedy with more emphasis on comedy, as well as, well, the action was enough. It was good enough for this film, but I just felt that the humor was just a little too much for my taste. Look, I love humor, but not that much. I don't want it to be to the point where it just completely takes away the experience to the point where, like, okay, can I get a breather? You know, like, I want a breather. I want a breather moment. There were breather moments, but they were initially, like, right off the bat, humor, jokes. Yes, we got it. This is a funny movie. So, like I said, Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie we have. For a Thor movie, it's an A. But for a standalone Marvel movie, it's a B+. Okay? It's a B+ for a Marvel movie. A Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. For a Thor movie, it's an A. I will have to give it that. But for a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, it is a solid B+. So there you have it. Is it as good as people are making it out to be? Yes, and a little bit of no. It's not the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, okay? We have plenty others out there anyway. But this is definitely the best when it comes to Thor in particular. So, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Thor Ragnarok. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below. And as always, please click like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to let you know I have uploaded a brand new review. I would love to hear your thoughts on specific movies, or hell, web series episodes, or whatever, you know what I mean. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. My name is Raj Chetta, and I'll see you later.